Okay, I'm going to apologise straight away. I'm sorry, but if you're American, this is going to be bad news. This is about how the US dollar will come to an end. You see, the US dollar has dominated the world since 1944. America won the war and was the only country left with anything worth actually having. So it became the world's reserve currency at a meeting called the Bretton Woods Agreement. It was designed to bring stability to the world's trading and currencies, but it failed to do so, and all it's achieved for America is to make the USA the most powerful, rich and dominant nation on the planet today. As a result, all commodities have been traded in US dollars since 1944, and the USA has become super rich on the back of this agreement. Under the agreement, the USA committed to back the US dollar with gold, which it held in Fort Knox. They also said they would never print more dollars than they actually held in gold at a rate of $35 an ounce, which was the rate that was set at the Bretton Woods Agreement. But by 1971, Nixon broke that agreement unilaterally and just said it was going to print money without holding gold. Ever since, the USA has been printing dollars like it was just going out of fashion. And as a result, the USA is now literally drowning in its own debt. As a result, also, the US dollar has lost 90% of its value, because that's what happens when you print too much money. It loses value. And the other effect is that as a direct result, gold is now 1100 and has been higher because it has to reflect the loss of US dollar value around the world. Also at Bretton Woods, the IMF was created to consolidate the powerful USA position, and the IMF has been dominated by the US and it's based in Washington, D.C. But the rest of the world has finally had enough of US domination and broken agreements by them, and the balance of power has begun to move away from the USA. 5 nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, the BRICS nations, have come together and created an alternative to the IMF. It's called the New Development Bank, and it started in 2008. Since then, scores of other nations, including Britain, France, Germany, South Korea, Australia, many others have signed up to the new bank. Many of these countries have already started trading commodities in currencies other than US dollars. They're beginning the process of phasing out the US dollar. But why is this important to you? Well, the world is about to fundamentally change the way it trades with each other. The New Development Bank, the NDB, is going to trade in a basket of alternative currencies. It's based up in Shanghai, and those BRICS nations have begun hoarding and acquiring more and more gold. The new currency of the NDB will be backed by gold once again. It'll have proper, real value. It'll be a real currency with no single country in control of it. Countries will once again be able to trust the financial system to work fairly for everybody's benefit. They'll trade commodities in the new currency. So what will the effect of all this be? Well, first of all, no country will need to hold US dollars anymore. That's going to just come to an end. They no longer need to buy US dollars in order to have money to buy commodities with. The price of commodities like oil, copper, iron, gold, silver, corn, anything that's being traded at the moment in US dollars will be priced in the new currency. And slowly over time, all the US dollars in circulation around the world will get converted to the new currency. And all the surplus US dollars will go back home to the USA. No countries will buy US debt anymore. It's currently valued at 20 trillion US dollars around the world. So when that happens, how will the USA fund that debt if no countries buy their debt anymore? And you know about supply and demand economics. When there's too much supply of anything and not enough demand, what happens to the value? It collapses. That's the way it works. So what's going to happen to the US dollar? Well, the result is the US dollar is going to collapse. It can't be avoided. The wheels are already in motion. The BRIC countries have already created the bank. It's not a fantasy. It's not a conspiracy theory. They planned it and now they're doing it. It's a reality. The only question left is, how will you protect your savings when it happens? How will you protect your pensions? How will you protect your lifestyle? And how will you protect your family's futures and their livelihoods? Now, you could educate yourself, you could get more informed, and you could prepare. Or maybe you could just... well, I think you know what I mean. Have a nice day.